Thank you, Chairperson. I started by referring to what you said in response to one of the questions, whereby you confirmed that it's unlike late Kenel Sambalova to be confused between his north and south. I think you said that. And also that you provided information about visibility in Zuzu, which was beyond you in terms of your expertise. And I'm also asking, because you didn't come with the ICAO procedures or clauses that allow you to provide weather information to the pilots. So in absence of those ones, I'm asking, maybe, it's just a maybe, and I'm underlining maybe. Maybe you had some health issues on that particular day. Maybe you are taking some medicines on that particular day. We just want to rule out that. Because if you rule out that, then indeed, we should be believing you to say, yes, I think this is what transpired. Kenel Sambalova is not here to defend himself, whether he said, indeed, 20 nautical miles north. And there's no recorded information on that transaction that you had with the late Kenel Sambalova. I didn't want to ask to say, what are your drinking habits? But I'm just, because I'm a doctor, I'm looking at the medicines only. So maybe, Chair, if you take the floor, maybe. But you also don't drink. But I'm asking on the side of medicines. Chair, submit.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Minister. I don't know by what you mean that somebody doesn't drink. I don't know. But all the same, the thing is, I can also not submit myself to what happened to Kenel Sambalova. As I have already put it, he's not here. So I cannot say he misjudged between the north and the south. That's why I say, I am not so sure of what happened, because I don't know. But what I get is the information that the pilot has transmitted on my radio or on my frequency. That's what I put it on the paper. So that's that, Honorable Chair. Thanks.
I think we can wind up. Yeah, let's wind up. Mine is just Mafuna Malize. Okay.
Chair, I am just interested with a few parting questions, and I wanted to refer to the weather report that was provided yesterday by Mrs. Chavunguma. I wish if I can share this copy with Mr. Moyo, if that's possible, because my questions will be referring to this copy. Yeah, so I just wanted to share, if you look at the copy of weather that he has brought today, he has only quoted the 10 a.m. weather, and but Mrs. Chavunguma quoted the weathers for copied the weather from 4 a.m. up to almost in the afternoon. I just wanted to bring to your attention only the signatures on that report of the observer. And then have you noticed that signature there? The observer?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, like from 4 a.m. To the subsequent times, 4 a.m. GMT to the subsequent times, and by around 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. the signature of the observer has changed. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted you to, then there's the other signature there at the bottom. it is looking consistent throughout the whole presentation. Have you noticed that?
Which bottom?
There are only two signatures appearing on the observer, and then there's another signature which doesn't have a reference, but it is just appearing at the bottom on the numbers there. At the bottom.
I have seen it.
Okay. Since you've been there for about 16 years, do you know these individuals with these three different signatures?
Correct. I know them. Where it is written observer, I know he was the one who was on duty until the other one came in. The beneath signature, that's my signature. That's why it is continuously there.
Okay. According to your experience, we know Mrs. Olive Chavunguma. Is she in one of those signatures as observer or any other?
She is not there.
Have you noticed that the part on checked by is blank throughout?
Very correct. It is blank because that one is done by the forecaster. At that particular time, we didn't have a forecaster. We only had an observer. That's where the signature is.
Since there is a discrepancy between the presentation on your visibility assessment, the two officers, they look like they are maintaining the visibility assessment. And now you are coming in as a third observer on the visibility assessment. I am trying to understand, do you know the qualifications of these observers? Because I want to know who has a higher academic qualifications or what. I just want to know if you know their qualifications of the professional qualifications of these two observers. Because you have said the Met expert, who is Mrs. Olive Chavunguma, who is the overall boss, has not signed anything here.
Okay, thanks very much. I think on the academic qualifications and the like, it doesn't matter when it comes to professionalism. So I will only say these people who are here, the signatures are here. They are the aviation meteorologists observers. That's their qualification. That's the certificate they hold.
Okay, so you are sure that they have a special certificate in whatever they were doing here, but then their supervisor, whenever there was that discrepancy with what you had observed, I guess maybe it was the time for you maybe to ask the higher authority at that moment who was their supervisor. Or should we assume that the supervisor was part of the observation? Is that the way you work?
Okay, thank you. Well, I don't have to go that far to check in somebody's office. But what I know is I have got the meteorological weather report. It is signed by the observer. He has given it to me. And I have checked it. I have seen it is okay. Then I sign for it. Because I don't just assign my signature there if this information is incorrect. And you have also to bear in mind, I have said this report, they are done hourly. There is like a maintenance of the visibility at a certain point. All right? But what I have said is the weather can change within minutes. Sometimes I've witnessed aircraft saying, no, I think this weather, I am not going to land. He flies for maybe 5-10 minutes. How is the weather there? Ah, it is now clear. No clouds. I'm coming back. He comes back. He's about to land. The weather changes again. Then he said, no, I'm going back. So he said, the controller is cheating the pilot? No. I am not to do with the nature myself. It just comes, I have to advise the people.
Now, on that one, you are very safe because the Met expert yesterday indicated that there were Chipiloni winds and the Mwera winds, something like that, and that there was that. So somehow the changes with the speed of wind and all that, I totally agree with you. I just wanted finally to know about your I could put it in the catchment area, or where do you say for a plane that is coming to Nzuzu, at which point do you say the plane is now in the hands of Nzuzu? I heard